Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my virtual interactive live. And today's live topic is going to be friendly relations. Come on in, guys. Come on in. Welcome, welcome. Good morning. Good
Good
morning.
morning. Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Good. All right. It's great to see you and
Great to see
everything.
you.
I'm so excited. I was talking with a good friend of mine. She's a community activist and everything, and we were having a conversation this morning, and she just got me all excited and riled up. She
Wow.
does that to me
Good.
sometimes,
That's
you
good.
know. But and I thank God. I thank God for the people that He has me work with, and I thank God for for being excited about this work. It's really it's a pleasure. It's a blessing, and so I'm a little bit hyped up, and I'm gonna try to stay in the frame right here. But I'm excited. I'm excited. So, yeah. Who's out there? If anybody yet?
There's no one out here yet.
Okay. Okay.
I
All
guess,
right. Well,
I guess they're still sleeping. Some
yeah.
people are on their way to work.
Right. Right. Yeah. Because they don't. They're off today. Right.
Yes,
So,
and some people are getting their kids ready for school or are already on their way taking their kids to school.
but today is a holiday.
Where?
It's it's a holiday, so they're off from school, and so they decided they're going to
What,
sleep a little bit extra.
what
But
kind of holidays?
I'm just excited, and I'm just going to go ahead and get started.
Yeah.
Today, we're going to talk about friendly relations, talking about what goes into choosing a friend. Um, how do you keep your friends? What what um what are you looking for? What are your expectations? We're going to talk about that today. Your friendly expectations, because a lot of times we want to be friends with everybody or a lot of people, but everyone can't be our friend. I had to
Yeah.
learn that as I was coming up. Every once in a while, I'll meet someone, and I'm all excited, and I like what they represent and all of that. At least I think that I like what they represent. And I'll get to know their names, even exchange numbers, and then after, having a conversation with them, I realize, I'm excited about being their friend, but for whatever reason, they're not excited about trying to be my friend, you know.
You have
And then I have to just kind of pull back and, let it go, that sort of thing. But you know, how do you know, get into those kinds of situations and, you know, um, come out of it still in a healthy way, you know, um, like I want to talk about what happens when the friendship ends, or when you come to the point where you find that, okay, we got to go our separate ways. That's what I want to talk about today. And so I hope that you all out there are, ready to talk about that, because it's not easy. Um, we should treasure our friends, and we hold our friends near and dear. At least I do. Okay, let me speak for myself. Um, I hope I take friendship very, very seriously. I like having, you know, friends in my life, throughout, you know, the different changes and milestones and situations in life. I'm blessed that I have a few friends that have gone through everything with me. I was talking to one friend this morning, and just thinking about how, you know, over the years, she has been one that she understands my quirkiness and how I process, mentally, how I process and how I go about doing things that I do. And she, over the years, she's one that she brings it to my attention and uh, reminds me. Sometimes I have a tendency to overanalyze. Like I'm always, observing and examining, and I'm always examining myself, because I want to make sure that I'm doing what I supposed to do, or what I said I'm going to do. And I have a tendency sometimes to overanalyze the situation. I'll sit there and I'll check, I'll recheck, I'll turn it to the side, check it again, because I don't like to, you know, try to do something, and I, if I said I'm going to do this, that's what it is that I'd like to do. I don't like to say I'm going to do this and then wind up over here and I did that. So I try to make sure that, I stay on top of myself and try to do what it is that I said I was going to do, or that I set out to do. And my friend, she knows how I process, and she's been a friend of mine for years, and she'll tell me, Tice, get out of your head. Tice, look, you're overanalyzing. You're overanalyzing. Okay, it's time to do now. You already, observed it, you checked it, you checked with the checker and the checky, several times. It's time to do now. Let's just do it. So that's my friend. She she's there. She's been there. She still is there, and she just helps me. You know, remember to sometimes I got to get out of my own head. I'm a planner, so I like to plan and prepare and you know go through the details so that when it's time to execute, there's no confusion. You can simply execute it. Step one, step two, step three, like that. And sometimes I get stuck in the planning. I'll, you know, really um, over examine the details, the small details. And, she knows that sometimes I have a tendency to do that. So she comes along and she'll let me know, all right, you know, you've examined that. Where, let's move on. Let's move on. Just do it. Just do it. And so I love her. Uh, and I thank God for her for doing that for me and helping me with that. So, uh, and she's one of my friends. She's one of my friends that, you know, really took the time out to understand who I am to the point where she can help me, when I get stuck and stuff like that. And you need friends like that. You need friends that you can simply be yourself fully. And I'm talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly, and they get to know and um, love you and respect you, even where you are and who you are, even at that moment, and then turn around and help you to grow and grow past that. So everyone needs friends like that. Uh, but oftentimes, it's not easy getting to that point. It's not easy, when you first become friends, be it fast friends or you've gotten to know the person over time. Um, we don't necessarily just uh, show all of our sides of our personalities to everyone at once. We all do it. We have, we show them this side, but we're not going to show them that side over there. Or, like I have friends, that I do different things with and for. And so, and that's all we do. So I have my friends that um, they advise me. Um, they they're sounding boards. They allow me to talk and process, and they're there and they kind of help me, make sense out of whatever it is that I'm trying to plan. So I have those are my advisor friends. I have friends that you know they have particular skills that I need because I don't have those skills. For example, I need to get some more um, technology friends, ones that they understand the technology and they can explain it to me or show me how to do it. Um, my my sons, they help me with that, but they when they try to teach me, they go too fast for me. So and they don't have the patience to go at the speed that I need them to go in order for me to learn whatever it is that they're trying to teach me. So uh, I need some friends that can teach me at the speed that I can pick it up at. My sons, I love them, but they're like, okay, Ma, we showed you that already. You forgot. Why are you forgetting? Okay, this is the way you do it. You press this button, you go here, and then you got to do all this stuff. I don't understand why you're not getting it. That's my sons, and I try to explain to them that I was around before internet. Okay, you know. Yes, I'm dating myself, but I was here before the internet. Okay, and so I have some skills that not of. They are no longer needed because internet came and replaced those skills, but I still have those skills. Okay. So anyway, but you need friends that in different, areas of your life that can help you. So yes, I'm trying to recruit some technological friends, but I have friends that they they I have friends that I hang out with, doing some of the things that I like to do. Um, one of my friends, she encouraged me to do some things that I didn't even think I could do. Okay, and so she kind of, you know, drags me out or encourages me strongly to just try, just try. And I'm like, I don't know, but she encourages me and she's like, you can do it, just do it, just do it. I have faith in you. Go ahead and do it. Try it. And so I thank God for those friends that kind of pull me out of my comfort zone, and they're willing to be there with me and watch me discover different things that I didn't even know I was able to do, or activities that I wasn't even thinking about trying to partake in. So those are my encouragers. Um, they push me, you know. And then I have friends that they they like my teaching mode. They like me in teaching mode, so they always asking me questions, so that I can share whatever information that I may have. So they'll show up. I had last night I was speaking with another friend of mine, uh, Sister Stover. Uh, she's a friend of mine, and she had some homework assignment and that she has to do, and she was having trouble with it, and she just called me up and she's like, okay, I got a question, and I like questions because if you don't already have the answer, it requires that you go find the answer, and she calls me up from time to time and with a question, and we'll start out with one question and wind up going through a whole lesson and learning a whole bunch of stuff that we didn't even know we were going to learn together. you know uh, and so yeah, she has me in teaching mode and learning mode at the same time. So um, I have a bunch of friends that um, that draw that out of me, that side out of me. But my teaching mode friends, they see that side of me, but they may not know about my um, uh, adventurous, want to have fun side. Because the situation hasn't come up yet, or when I'm engaging with my teaching mode friends, that's what I'm doing. I'm in teaching mode, we're in learning mode. That's the activity that we enjoy doing together. And so that's how they see me, for the most part. But situation may come up, or I can present the situation where we can be in learning and teaching mode and still it be adventurous at the same time, or fun at the same time. Um, and so that's how, life situations and things of that nature, that's how, they arise, and you wind up, you know, getting to know that person, a different side of that person. And they get to see a different side of you. So um, it's important to be able to feel comfortable enough where you can flow from one aspect of your personality to the next, and feel comfortable with that person or those people where you can comfortably do that. And you get to learn different sides of them, they get to learn different sides of you. So and that you know doesn't readily happen. Like, you have to set your parameters, set your boundaries within that friendship relationship where you both should feel comfortable and being able to do that. Now, I have some friends that, you know, I I can't flow from one aspect of my personality to another with them because they're not comfortable, or uh, at the current time they they only want to see me in one particular mode, because that's all that they can handle right then and there. They don't want to see all the other sides. They're right now. We established a friendship uh, in this particular mode. So if we met as uh, acquaintances on the bus, we go to the same place and we met that way. That person doesn't necessarily know to look for me in teaching unless I shared that with them, that I do lectures and seminars and stuff like that. They may not know that. They might know, okay, she goes on the bus at the same time every day, and we go to this particular destination, every day at the same time. So that is what we have in common at that moment. And it's not until we have a discussion or we talk and we decide, okay, we uh, found some other things we have in common. We're both mothers. We both are into wellness. So then those are the things that we tend to talk about and share, and have activities based around that. And as we continue to talk with each other and share, we get to know different aspects of each other's personality. And the whole while we're getting to know each other, we're still trying to decide what kind of friend we want to be to each other. And we make those selections. And so, like, as I get to know different people, I know that some of my friends are not comfortable going certain places with me because they don't go there. Others of my friends, they would go anywhere to the ends of the earth with me. That's just, the way people are. And so it's important when you have that respect in the relationship, your friendship relationship, you have that respect and you have that honesty. It helps frame your friendship. So, for example, my friends that are vegan, you know, uh, we can go out together to a restaurant, but I'm not going to take them to um, the the fried chicken spot with me, because that's not what they do. They're vegan. They would not be interested in going to the fried chicken spot, simply because they are vegan. They don't eat that. So it would be disrespectful of me to say, "Oh, come with me to the chicken spot and, we can talk there and we can, have dinner." They don't eat chicken, so they're not going to enjoy that. So that's not something that they would want to engage me in. But if they say, "Oh well, let's go out to eat. I know of a great vegan spot, we can go," then um, I can eat vegan. I can eat vegan food, um, and out of respect to them, I'll go with them to the vegan spot, and experience, some delicious food. I might even, eat something that, I never tried before, simply because um, I'm not vegan, but I allow my vegan friends to, you know, encourage me to share in that experience of eating vegan food. You know, that's that that's that respect. I respect the fact that you are vegan. I may not be, but I can go with you, and I can eat, and I can have a great time eating the foods that you like to eat. No big deal. But again, it's that respect factor. I respect that's who you are. You're a vegan. I'm not a vegan, but that's who you are, and you're my friend, and I want to go and do things that's comfortable in consideration of who you are, and vice versa. When you are in a friendship where that's not happening, then you have to look at that friendship and figure, are you really friends? So it's things like that you need to address and really analyze. Um, whatever kind of friendship you may have, uh, you should those friendships should serve to benefit you as well as benefit the other person. So when I was speaking yesterday and on times before now, where I talked about the three C's, the the communication, commitment, and compromise. Um, it's important to really look at those things, because those those three C's help solidify, frame your friendship, your relationship. And if you, after looking at all of your different relationships that you have, you find that you're gonna find that some work better for you than others, um, and that's a good thing. The ones that work better for you, where you are growing and thriving and happy and everything, okay, you work with those. But those that may not be working for you, helping you to grow, helping you to thrive, making you happy, uh, and um, just improving your whole well-being. Those relationships, uh, they need to be looked at. They need to be evaluated, or simply let go. Let go. How do you do that? How do you look at those relationships and decide to break off? Okay, those are some of the things that we need to talk about. How do you, uh, once you've discovered that, okay, this friendship is not working, or this person, I thought they were my friend, but I'm seeing that, what, they're not really my friend, or they don't really want to be friends with me because they're not meeting the expectations of the relationship. Uh, they're not being honest with me. They're being disrespectful of me, or they're not seeing me for who I am. They want to interact with me according to who they think that I am, and that's two different people. Um, this is not working for me. I need to get out of this relationship. The way you get out of relationships is important because even when you find that you have to end a friendship, you don't want to make the person an enemy, okay? Simply because you want to end the friendship. Then again, you might. But if you want to make the person your enemy, then you weren't friends from the beginning, okay? And I mean, who who wants to have a bunch of enemies around, you know? So it's important that when you're breaking any kind of relationship, that you end it, as peaceful as you can. I know life situations happen and things happen that will cause a break in the relationship, the friendship, where it breaks suddenly, abruptly, you know. And it's not pleasant when that happens. Am I right? It's not pleasant when that happens. You go through different things. You even grieve, the loss of the friendship. You're hurt. You're angry, about the way the relationship ended or had to end. And so you want to try to break the friendship as peaceful as possible. Um, Try to cut down the hurt, the anger, those negative emotions like that, as best you can. But it's better to do that, break the relationship, break the friendship, than to stay in a friendship or a relationship that is not working for you. When you're in a friendship that's not working for you, then it causes you stress. It causes you to experience a lot of the negative emotions, because of the relationship. So it's not good to interact with someone that you call a friend, and every time you are engaging in activity with them, they are verbally abusing you or visibly and obviously disrespectful to you. That's not a pleasant experience. That's not, that person is not being a friend to you. Okay. Sometimes we befriend people who may be, how you say, not unlovable, but they might be difficult people to get along with. Like most people find difficulty in trying to get along with these people. My pastor calls them EGR folk. EGR folk. And those EGR stands for extra grace required. Those kind of people, where that you love them, but sometimes they don't know how to receive that love and that care. And so, when they are experiencing those kind of things, they kind of give you a hard time, um, and as they interact with you, or they might, simply have an attitude. They might be angry about something or just irritable, and they don't keep their irritability to themselves, and deal with it. They let everyone else know and let everyone else not only experience their personal irritability, but they become an irritant to others. So they make everyone else, not comfortable, and that's just their way, or that's their way that they choose to be at that time. So And we all have people like that in our lives. You know, they want to be friends, but they don't quite understand that their actions, their behavior is offensive, or um, it can be interpreted as disrespectful. Um, and so it makes it so that people don't readily want to interact with them, you know. And then there are those that simply don't know how to make friends, don't know uh, some of the things that expectations that's required of them. They don't know how to put those expectations forth, or even meet those expectations properly. So they don't know how to make friends. There are people who think that, oh well, I can buy my friends. You know, uh, people who they want to be friends with, they buy them stuff. You know, give them stuff just so that they can have some kind of connection with that person. And, you know, if the friendship is based on you giving them things or buying them stuff all the time, then that's not really a friendship. That's you buying them stuff and giving them stuff all the time. That person, you're giving of yourself, but you're not receiving. And that person that you're giving to, they understand, okay, I'm going to take this, I'm going to receive. And so the nature of this friendship is you give and I only receive. They don't understand that you are giving these things to them, hoping that they will reciprocate or they will also give to you. They may not understand that. They might think, oh well, you know, she's buying, so what? You know, oh, you wanted me to pay next time? Oh, I don't have any money or whatever, you know, that kind of thing. Uh, but with any kind of friendship, it should be both give and take on the part of both parties. So if you're in a friendship where it seems like you're giving 90% of the time and the other person is receiving 90% of the time, um, but you only receive 10% of the time, and that other person is only giving 10% of the time, that friendship is kind of one-sided, and that's not going to work for uh, the one that's giving all the time. That might work for the one that's receiving all the time, but if the one that's receiving all the time is wants to be a real friend, they would understand that they should give also, so that the giving and the taking is both 50-50 at least. Okay. Because that's why you become friends, you know. So when you find that, okay, every time we go out, I'm the one that has to pick the restaurant and has to pay. I mean, you just need to look at that. Um, Finances in a friendship, you know, yes, there needs to be boundaries set so that everyone understands clearly, you know, what the terms of the relation, the friendship is. But you shouldn't, you know, base your friendship on the finances, or you shouldn't. There's so much more to the friendship than just the financial part. So you want to have a whole friendship, not just an aspect of a friendship, and try to build on that. So, you need to look at that. You need to look at that. Again, when I was saying you should be able to feel comfortable to be your whole self or be who you are freely and comfortably without judgment, without, um, you know, uh, disdain or uh, negative feelings being thrown at you just because you are simply stating who you are. It's important to be honest with yourself as well as others, your friends, so that they can understand who you are, grow to know who you are, and uh, deal with you, interact with you based on who they understand you to be, and vice versa. A lot of times we come into friendships, and let's be honest, we don't come into the friendship, at the beginning showing fully who we are simply because we don't want judgment or we don't want uh, criticism. We try to impress our friends at first, at the beginning. We try to make sure we say the right words, and we try to make sure we look nice when we go out, and we try to show our friends all of the good sides, our strengths. We try to show them that first. Very rarely do you know, at the beginning of the friendship, do you show that person your not so great side first, depending on how you started out being friends. But for the most part, people want to impress other people, and so they try to put their best foot forward at the beginning of the friendship, and you know that way you see what you have in common, you see what you like about each other. You put that first. Then after you've established, okay, I like her for this, and she has that, and she's great when doing this. We put all of the strengths that we have, the good stuff about us. We put that out there first, and the other person, they do the same with us, and we base our friendship on that first, and then as we get to know the person, as different situations arrive where we are both in that situation at the same time, that's when we get to see the other side. Oh, she's great at public speaking. She's great at giving out advice, but when it's time for her to receive advice, she don't want to listen, or she doesn't want to hear anything anyone else has to say. You see that a situation or activity might come up where all of a sudden you see the not so great side of that very same person, and then you decide, are we still going to be friends? Can I still be her friend? Okay, all right. So she's great for giving advice, but she doesn't receive advice. So, you know, can we still be friends? Or maybe there's a reason why she doesn't receive advice well. Maybe if I get to know her, I can kind of figure out what that is and figure out a different way to give her advice or share with her. Things like that. You make those kind of decisions. But um, when at the beginning of the friendship, everybody does it. They put their best foot forward. They, talk about all of the good things about them and the good things that they're doing. Very rarely do you, uh, at the beginning of a friendship, decide, okay, I'm gonna talk about, uh, my tendency to overanalyze, or am I going to talk about the fact that uh, I, I I like to eat junk food and I know that you're a vegan. Yeah. We don't come with that at the beginning of the friendship. We kind of hold those our negative side or those negative things in our personality that we feel are negative. We tend to kind of hold that. We don't show that or we don't reveal that right away up front. And for fear of rejection, for fear that the person might decide, you know what, I'm a vegan and you're a junk food eater. I'm sorry. This friendship is not going to work. Deal breaker. That's it. You know, we worry about that kind of thing. So we tend not to, show all of the sides of our personality. We only show, the good stuff. And we try to put that out there for as long as we can. Um, but then when situations or experiences happen that causes us to react, we tend to react naturally, and then you'll see that other side or that other aspect of our personality that we were trying to hold back or not let you see. All of a sudden it's there. And that person, your friend, would have to decide, oh, okay, I didn't know that about her or him, but now I know. Okay, so I know that, it will be a good thing to take my vegan friend to the junk food spot with me. It's not a good thing. Yeah, that kind of thing. You tend to all of us do it. We tend to, just kind of reserve those other sides to us for later on in the friendship or as we uh, go down the line together further down the line. And so, but I recommend to you to, after you've decided what kind of friend this person is going to be to you and what kind of friend you're willing to be to that other person, you how much of yourself you're willing to give to that friendship. Um, like I said, I've been blessed where I have friends that have seen me in my ups, in my downs, seen me when I was sideways, all turned around. They've seen most of the aspects of my different aspects of my personality, and they're still my friend. So it is possible, and they happen to be really good friends of mine. And I'm still their friend. So that's where that honesty, being true to yourself and true to others, that's where that comes in. And that's very important in order to have a very strong friendship. You should be able to do that comfortably and still remain friends. Now, there are friends that you may have that you can't be your total self with. They may not be able to take it. They might be extra sensitive, and you are more bold and maybe come across brash, so you find that you have to like kind of tone yourself down or try to not come across fully with your brashness, because you know that your friend is extra sensitive emotionally. So you make those adjustments in your friendship so that the two of you can comfortably be friends with each other. But what happens when you don't take into consideration those not so great aspects of your friend's personality? What happens then? Can you really be their friend? You tell me. Put it in the chat. What do you think? What do you think? In fact, um, you know, are there any questions about what I've said so far? Like I'm just talking and sharing with you, but I want to hear from you. Hear some other voices. What do you think?
It's love. There ain't no question, but there's a comment. Fish Silver says, friendship is a beautiful thing.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's so beautiful and so powerful that you want to have the best friendship relationships ever possible. Um, the you know friends are to be treasured. Bible even says that friends are so important in our lives. So it's imperative to make sure that you are number one, being the best friend that you can be to all of your friends, and make sure that your friends can be the best that they can be to you, because friendship really is, it truly is beautiful. I've said several times, I can't say it enough. I am so grateful for my friends. My friends, I have some friends that were there during different situations in my life. And had they not been there, I don't know if I would be here. Okay. Um, my friends have really been instrumental in shaping who I am today. I'm blessed to be able to say that I know some very powerful people, some awesome men and women, that, they are movers and shakers, not only with me, but, across the board. And they are some awesome people. And, my grandmother used to always say to me, you know, choose your friends wisely, because birds of a feather flock together. But in order for them to flock together, they got to know the nature of feather. So my grandmother, she used to say things like that to us. And I thank God for her wisdom. And may she continue to rest in power. But yeah, she impressed upon me the importance of choosing your friends wisely, because if you choose your friends wisely, your life will be better. If you don't take the time out to choose wisely, then you're going to experience a lot of heartache, a lot of unnecessary drama coming from your friends, simply because you didn't choose wisely, and because you didn't act wisely with your friends. So yes, friendship is very, very beautiful, um, and you want to do all that you can to make sure that the friendships in your life are great friendships. I mean, we have friendships on different levels, um, but you want to make sure that whatever level of friend uh, your friends are on with you, that it's the best. So as I stated earlier, you know, um, I need some more uh, digital technology friends, because that's what I need in my life right now, to help me as I do all these different things with technology. But even if they're simply my techie friend. I want to make sure that my tech friend relationship is the best that it can be. I want to be able to, you know, honor and uplift even my techie friend. You know, and we all have friendships. That some friendships are more important to us than other friendships. We don't. We're not friends with everybody. We have, friendships on different levels, and that's okay also. The only thing is you have to make sure that as you set the terms and the boundaries of those friendships, that the other person understands, okay, you are my techie friend. You're not my best friend. There is a difference. I'm going to interact with you based on the nature of our friendship. If you are my techie friend, our engagement, our interactions will be based around the technology, at least at the start. Um, so when we interact with each other, no, I'm not going to be sharing my most deep, dark secrets with you. The nature of our relationship is you're my techie friend. Okay, that's what it is. You're not my best friend. You know, you're not my lover. You know, you're my techie friend. So I've established the boundary, the terms of that friendship as being relegated or limited to being around technology and addressing my tech needs like that. Whereas your best friend, your bestie, you might have greater expectations for, more things that you interact with them or share with them simply because they are your best friend. So that person might see you in different ways that most people don't get to see or get to know about you. And that's okay. It's okay that you have different kinds of friendships and friendships on different levels. That's totally fine, as long as you, as well as the other person, is understands and is clear about the boundaries of that friendship. That you and that other person are clear in terms of what the nature of that friendship is, so that there's no confusion, there's no animosity. Yes, I'm your techie friend, but I really want to be your best friend. What happens when that happens? And that happens a lot. Well, you then, if someone comes up to you, one of your friends presents that to you, you then have to let them know what are the requirements in being my best friend. What are my expectations of my best friend? And, once you explain some of that to them, they might understand, oh, okay, I don't meet that criteria. Therefore, that's why she's not going to have me be, her best friend. Or, yeah, I can do that. I can do that. Well, let me try. Or, you might be in a situation with that person where you're really going through something, and that person's not your best friend, but they wound up being your best friend at that moment. They showed themselves to be trustworthy with whatever happened in that situation. And so for that moment, that person winds up being your best friend. And you didn't even know that that person had that in them. So then it changes the nature of your relationship. So if that person was my techie friend and a situation arose where I really needed my best friend to be there with me, but my best friend wasn't accessible at the time. They were unavailable. But I'm stuck here with my techie friend, and my techie friend decides, you know what, I'm going to try to help, or I'm going to be there for her. At that moment, my techie friend steps up. They, you know, do things like my best friend would have, even though they just standing in. And I get to see that techie friend in a different light. So then I go, I didn't know my techie friend had those qualities. Hmm, maybe my techie friend can be my best friend or a closer friend to me, not just the techie friend that I only go to when I got something wrong with my computer. You see, and that's how uh, friendships evolve. Friendships are not etched in stone. They are ever growing and evolving, and they crescendo, and then they also subside. You know, so it's fluid. Friendships are fluid, and you know, they move and change throughout time, and that's okay. That's why you have to continuously work at maintaining your friendship relationship, because things happen in life, times change, seasons change, and so the nature of your friendship uh, or the terms might have to change, and they should be able to change fluidly. Uh, but what happens when you have you're in a friendship and you've grown or evolved, but your friend did? What happens then? The the friend that didn't grow and evolve, they might have they might have still grown and evolved stemming from that friendship, but they might have grown and evolved differently from you or apart from you. So then you both are still moving forward like this, but then you veer off and you wind up, realizing it's time to go separate ways. It's not a bad thing. It's a growth thing. You branch off from each other, and so um, it's important to analyze your friendship so that you can assess your friendship. Always, be checking it out, looking at it, seeing how it's growing and it's changing, and twirling around and all of that. Because your friendships, all of our friendships, are shaped by life and life's experiences. That's how we, come to understand, okay, this friendship is over, but this new friendship is about to emerge and stuff like that. So, um, you know, it's important to constantly be, checking, checking in with your friend. Oh, okay, what's going on with you? I'm I just got engaged. I'm no longer your single friend. Now I got engaged, so I'm going to soon be another one of your married friends. You know, because people grow and change every day. Their situation, circumstances change every day. And so in a friendship relationship, you have to allow for that as well. You have to allow room in your friendship to for it to change and grow, and it might even shrink depending on what life circumstances have occurred. I know in this pandemic has impacted heavily on the different friendships that we all have in our lives right now. Uh, would you agree? Would you agree that the pandemic has impacted on your friendships, particularly? If you found that the pandemic has impacted your friendship, um, put it in the chat. Right? Yes or no, and put in the chat in what ways have your friendships been impacted by the pandemic with this all the social distancing and the mask and even when we were in the shutdown period of this pandemic, how has those things impacted your friendships? Okay, I know when the whole social distancing happened, um, especially when the shutdown happened. When the shutdown happened, we were suddenly cut off from each other. You were only able to interact closely with those people in your household. So you were cut off from even family members and friends, co-workers. When the shutdown happened, you had to shelter in place and lock your door and only come out when you needed to for food and stuff like that. That drastically impacted not only my friendships but all of my relationships with people that did not live with me. Um, and because it was sudden, you know, I couldn't, work out the new terms of my friendship and everything. And what I found was that those people who um, were already close to me, you know, my best friends, they continue to be close to me. Yes, we had to work out different ways to continue to interact and communicate with each other. Those friends who were not as close to me, um, when the shutdown happened, they were already socially distanced from me, and so they got further socially distanced from me. Um, and that's how that happened. But after they lifted the shutdown um, rules and everything, and we started to come outside, and be able to interact with others, though differently, we were able to interact with others now. Um, I would then reach out and try to call my friends that were not as close before. I would call them, I would text them just to see if they okay, if they were experiencing the COVID, things of that nature. I would do the, check-in call. Well, yeah, I'm over here. We're fine. How about you? That sort of thing. So I made those kind of calls, and those not as close friends are still not as close, but I made sure to reach out and they made sure to reach back to me to maintain the friendship connection. Um, Then there were friends that uh, were not were close to me before the COVID, and now they're not as close because the nature of our friendship kind of changed. And so, but we're still friends. It's just that, you know, it just kind of changed, and we had to redefine the nature of our relationship. So, are there any comments with regards to what I said or questions?
Okay. Facebook says it brings out the best in us. Key is respect and honesty. And
That's true.
I have
That's true.
something to say. Say for example, you in a circle of friends, and
Yes.
your main friend, you and her is good friends, and then on the other side, there's another friend is not so much friends with her. They don't speak or they don't get along. Should you cut off?
Right.
Should you cut off your main friend because that one don't speak, or should you stop speaking to this one because that other one don't speak? What suggestion do you have?
That's an excellent, excellent question. Um, you're in a situation where you have more than one friend in that situation with you, and they are at different stages of friendship with you and with each other. I just want to make sure I got it correct. Like your bestie is there, and your other friend is also there with you. But
Mhm.
that other friend, she's a friend, but she's not the bestie. And your best friend and that other friend, they are not, they don't even speak. Is that what you're saying? That's the situation?
Mhm.
Okay, okay. What to do in that situation? Okay, excellent question. Um, your friends, once you get, all of them together like that, they that's when the nature of the friendship comes into play. Now, you're there and your best friend is there with you. Your best friend, she knows she's your best friend. You know that she's your best friend. You're her best friend or what have you. That's established. So all the other friends that's there, they know, okay, I'm her friend, but that's who she chose to be her best friend. Okay. And so they, they become aware that, okay, I'm friends with her, but obviously I'm not her best friend. Okay. Because that's her best friend. And so depending on how you interact with those other friends, as opposed to how you interact with your best friend in that situation in front of everybody, yeah, it can cause arguments. It can cause um, disagreement, to say the least. What I would do in that situation is once you've kind of put it out there that, okay, all of y'all are my friends and all of y'all are good friends, but this one here is my best friend. You know, um, number one, if all of them know about you or know who you are, they may understand that why you chose this one as your best friend. Or you might have to even explain it. You might have to say, you know what, all of y'all are my friends, but I've been friends with her since Pampers, you know, or um Me and her, we went through so much together. Um, really, really hard times together, or whatever it is. Like, you have to kind of let your other friends know, well, why you picked her, what she has, or what he has that singles him out, where that's your best friend. And is it possible for you to have more than one best friend? Because your other friends are there and they see you, you know, you your best friend is there, and she's flexing, and yeah, I'm the best friend. I don't know who you are. I don't know who you are. I don't care about who you are, but her right here, just my girl, just my best friend. And when your best friend, kind of acts like that in front of your other friends, that they shouldn't do that. They shouldn't do that. But you can't always control what other people do. But um, you should, number one, try to, um, at least let your other friends know, well, okay, what's different about this friend that makes her your bestie, and why you act differently with her as opposed to all the rest of us. And you don't have to go into it too deep. This is the reason why I treat her differently from the way I treat you all. But I love all of you. It's just I got a special love for her. It's just like when you are up, well, I was gonna say, well, like when you're a parent of more than one child, how you should be able to treat all of the children equally. You should love all of the children equally, but sometimes, in your actions, you might show favor to this particular child over than that one. And the child notices it, and you are left with having to explain, well, why you gave him more candy than you gave me. Then you got to come up with, a reason for that. And then the next go round, maybe you'll give the other child more candy than you gave that one. And that one asks, well, why you gave him more this time? Then you can say, oh, because the last time you got the most candy, to kind of make it even. Okay. But with your friends, I would explain something to show why this person is more my best friend, or I hold this person uh closer to me than the rest of you, or I would explain something. It could be a shared experience or something to establish that, so that everyone else will know and hopefully agree that, okay, I'm okay with that. She's going to be your best friend. No, I wasn't there since Pampers with you, so I can understand why I chose her to be your best friend. But I am your friend too, and I want to be, you know, considered a good friend, but I understand she's your best friend. So when you explain that, that kind of makes it a little easier for your other friends to accept. Okay. um and they are having their mind, oh, okay, I can't compete with that. She known her since Pampers. I only know her from, I got to know her at work. I'm only her friend. Well, I've only been able to be her friend, a year and a half, whereas she goes all the way back to Pampers. Okay, I understand that. Fine. You know, but it's important to explain or establish why that person, you chose that person to be your best friend, as opposed to any one of your other friends. Number one, that kind of helps. Number two, your best friend, if they know, if they know you as well as they say they know you, they should also be able to appreciate your other friends. And they should not, you know, try to, you know, work so hard to stand out from your other friends. You know that you and that person are best friends. They know that they are your best friend. There's no need to kind of rub it in everybody else's face. If you understand what I'm saying. So your best friend, if they know your personality and they know that and understand that you wouldn't want to uh, offend your other friends, then they would understand, okay, let me not, yeah, we best friends and everything, but there's no need for me to rub it in all their faces. It's enough for them to know that, okay, I'm the best friend, and I'm being the best friend and we're here with all her other friends. I have to share her with all of her other friends. Okay. And that's where the issue comes in at. Sometimes when you are in a situation where, you got friends of different levels with you, you know, participating in an activity together, sometimes friends can be possessive and so they don't want to share you, or they want to, show, well, I'm closer to her than you are, or uh, I'm going to compete with you in terms of being her friend because I want to be the top friend or the closest friend, or I want to be a friend with her on a different level than you because I don't particularly care for you. I don't even want to be friends with you, but we have to at least get along because you're her friend and I'm her friend. But I don't want to be friends with you. Your friends, they have to establish that with each other. It's okay that, you may not care for your friend's friend, but out of respect for your friend, uh, you at least conduct yourself in a way where you can get along and interact in that situation where it's comfortable for your friend, not necessarily your friend's friend, but for your friend. Out of respect for your friend, your bestie, you will kind of conduct yourself in a certain way. You might be a little bit more tolerant of your best friend's friends, even though they may not be your cup of tea, but out of respect and love for your best friend, you're going to at least try to be civil with your best friend's other friends. So what I say is, as the friend that has different friends in the room, together, I would try to explain that, okay, this is my best friend, okay, and best friend, I want you I want to introduce you to my coworker over here, my techie friend over there, so that your best friend understands who are these other friends to you and what is their connection to you, and your other friends will understand what is their connection to you, and also get to know your best friend and why your best friend is your best friend. So that's just a matter of establishing and redefining the nature of all those relationships, being that you have all those people together. redefining that, and if the other friends agree, then they should be okay, and they should be able to respect the fact, okay, um, I'm I'm her coworker, but that's her best friend. I'm okay with that because I know that I'm her coworker, and the nature of our friendship is just that. We're co-workers. I came out with her on a social occasion, but I know that I am her coworker. That is her best friend. So I don't need to get angry with her best friend because she's her best friend. I'm her coworker. So I can work on maybe becoming a closer friend to her by observing how she interacts with her best friend. But I know that I am her co-worker, so that's who I am to her. Whereas your co-worker friend might they might get along better with your techie friend, for instance, in that situation, and they might become friends. And the coworker might become a closer friend to your techie friend because they found that they have more things in common than that coworker has with you. You know, so what I'm trying to say is that you, as the friend that brought all of these different friends together, it is somewhat your responsibility to explain or let everyone know why they are here, with you, why all of them are there with you together, okay? Because obviously you have love for all of your friends. You have some love for all your friends. That's why you picked all of those people to be together in that particular activity or situation with you. You kind of hope that they all can get along, um, but there's no guarantee. Um, and they may, show some kind of territorialism, oh, um, she's my friend, but that's her best friend over there. Now, I don't feel as close to her because she's with her best friend. And now I'm feeling a way about her best friend. I don't want her best friend to be here, because I want to be her best friend. You know, that friend will have to, at a, different time and, setting, have to, talk to you about that. And maybe it's time for you to redefine the nature of the relationship with that other friend. You might find that, okay, yeah, I got one best friend and this is my best friend, but you might find, oh, you know what? I didn't know you felt like that. I didn't know you wanted to be my best friend. You know, okay, well, let's work on our relationship so that maybe we can make that happen. And then I'll have more than one best friend, you know, but that would require that you being my new best friend, you still have to get along with my old best friend in order for us three to be best friends together. So, but to answer your question, I would, being the friend that assembled all of those different friends together, I would then feel the need to explain as I'm introducing my different friends to each other, and that will help, but again, you can't control the way people will choose to act, once they, upon meeting your best friend, some of your friends might feel a way about, well, I don't like her. I don't even like her being your best friend. I don't think she's worthy to be your best friend. I think I'm more worthy to be your best friend than her. That's your friend's opinion. And, they might want to share that with you, but you know why you made that person your best friend, and you know why this other person is not. And so your best bet would be to explain that, So what I would do in that situation is explain the reasons for my choice as a friend. So yes, I chose you to be my friend, but I chose her to be my best friend. And this is why. That's all. And that, if the person wants to remain being your friend, they're going to understand, you know, uh, what the nature of your relationship to them is, how you see it, and you will also understand better the nature of their relationship with you, how they see you. You didn't, you may not have known that that person saw you as their best friend, but you didn't see them as a best friend. You just saw them as a friend, And so once that, situation arises, it's time to communicate. You have to talk. Now, in that setting where all your friends are there, um, you may not have the time to take time to explain in great detail, but you can simply, as you introducing your friends to each other, in your introduction, state why, you know, or who this person is to you and what it is that, draws you to them, why they're your friend. So you can say, oh, um, guys, I'd like you to meet my best friend in the whole world, so and so. We've been friends since Pampers. So, in you introducing your best friend to all the other friends, you let them know who she is and why she is who she is to you in your introduction. And then as you go around the room, oh, there's my trusted co-worker, that, make sure I'm doing my job every day and she has my back, so and so, Mary Ellen. Mary Ellen, meet, everybody say hi to Mary Ellen, and everybody says hi to Mary Ellen. So then all your friends, they have now met your best friend and why, and now they met your co-worker, Mary Ellen, who this is why she's your friend, because she always has your back and she always makes sure you do your job and all that. And as you go around the room, introducing your friends, you, in your introduction, you are stating not only who they are, their name, but what, who they are to you, what they mean to you, so that everybody in the room understands, okay, that's her coworker, that's her buddy at work, and this one over something else. So, in your introduction, as you introduce everybody that you brought there, you would establish that, and hopefully that will, give your friends a better understanding of who they are to you and who they are to each other, in connection to you. Okay, so I hope that I answered your question. So that's what I would do, to kind of make sure that, that nobody feels away, nobody gets upset, nobody's surprised. I would simply, in my introduction to everybody, you know, about that person, I would explain my connection, my tie to that person, and what they mean to me, so that, you know, everybody would understand that. Did I answer your question? That's a
Yes,
great question.
yes, you did, Miss Love. And I have
Okay,
one for you.
sure.
Um, you you have a friend, you and them been friends since high school, and
Yes.
they move, and one of them move away,
Yep.
and this friend eventually she get to move away to another country, but we
Right.
all realize that we're in the same country but different places.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
So all along we've been friends through thick and thin. And when we were in high school, a set of friends wasn't speaking to her for some reason or the other, and you still maintain the friendship. And then all of a sudden, she reached the ladder and she forget where she was before.
Right.
Like there's a saying, some people get what they didn't expect. And I think in that situation, that person get what they didn't expect. And then you went to visit them after this long time that you didn't get to see each other. You went to visit them,
Right.
and while you're there visiting them, they start acting strange in some type of way. Um,
Mm.
you will see them for a long time. You would think
Right.
that you would embrace the friendship and start getting things, back on the same level of how they were, and keeping it going. And then
Right.
you kind of attitude like you're in their house and they start dropping these kind of remarks and all kind of things.
Treating you differently.
Yeah, trying to treat you differently. What would you do in that kind of situation, or should that person be forgiven of what the remarks they drop, or what should you do?
What I would do is, um, obviously, upon seeing me and they're at a different stage in their life, or they've arrived on, um, at a point where they've changed because they're at different stages in their life. Uh, Upon seeing you, they realize that what they had in terms of friendship with you, they no longer need or they no longer want. So they don't regard you in the same way. They don't respect you in the same way. And, it sounds like that person wants to look down on you because, you were friends with them when they were at a different place or when they were down. But now that they all the way up, they don't even remember or don't want to look back at uh their friendship with you because their friendship with you reminds them of their past. Reminds them of a time when they didn't have all of this and they weren't at this level. They were still struggling trying to get to that level. So because you were friends with them and they were friends with you back then in the past and they moved on past that, they don't want to be reminded of the past. And so they no longer really want to be your friend because you remind them of where they came from. And so the nature of their friendship with you has changed right along with their status changing. And so, but you didn't know that, but you found it out when you went to go visit them. The way that they treated you, you found out, oh, this person doesn't see me in the same way, or they don't have the same regard. In fact, they're being very disrespectful to me and offensive to me. People are offensive and disrespectful to other people um, because they don't have that regard for them. They, for whatever reason, don't feel that, well, You're not as close to me as you used to be. Yeah, that was back then when we was in high school. Yeah, we was there, and all of that. But I'm not in high school any longer. I'm not even in that country any longer. I'm not back there any longer. I left that long time ago, and I've changed. And being that I've changed, I don't want to deal with anything from my past and anyone from my past. So no, I don't regard you in the same way any longer. In fact, I'm going to start speaking to you in a way that puts you down so that you will see that no, I don't look at you as my equal. We're not uh, close like that any longer. You are now beneath me. I'm all the way up here. And I consider my friendship with you all the way down there. So, no, I'm not going to treat you, you know, um, like my best friend, like we're equal, like, we were that close. We weren't that close back then, but I don't have the same need for your friendship any longer. So I'm going to treat you differently, or I'm going to make moves and take actions to distance our relationship or even break our relationship simply because I don't have um, need of your friendship any longer. That sounds like what was happening to you. And it wasn't a thing where she was or he was attacking you personally. It was about what you represent in that person's mind. So, yeah, you represented coming from the same country. You represented uh, uh, being in high school, and not only just being in high school, but everything that was going on. My family status, my financial status, um, my educational status, all of that you represented, and you brought that to that person's mind upon seeing your face. And that person no longer wants to hold on to those things. They don't want to hold on to that, where they were financially or educationally or even socially back then, because they moved past that. And they only want to deal with the people that are interacting with them now while they're at this status. They don't no longer want to interact with those who, knew them back when, or knew them before they arrived at this status over here. So what I would do is you know, you have to accept it and accept the fact that you and that person are no longer friends in the same way. That person is let you know in a very harsh way, but letting you know still, nonetheless, that me and you are not best friends anymore. Okay, we're friends, but we're not best friends. We're distance friends now. I'm redefining the nature of our relationship because I have arrived and I'm at a different status now than you. And so I want to be closer to my friends that I made at this new status. And in order for me to be friends with the people at this new status, I don't have space in my life for um, my old friends. That's all. That's the way to feel. That's the way your friend feels at this point in time. And you have to, you may not agree with it, but you have to respect, okay, that's how you feel. All right, I'll step back. You know, I I still love you, as my best friend. You know, I want to continue on being best friends, but if you don't want that, and it's only me that want that, I gotta back up. I gotta let it go. I gotta, the changes to the nature of our relationship. Because if you continue to, try to be best friends with that person, and that person doesn't want to be friends with you in that way, you're going to be the one that gets hurt. Because that person, because they don't regard you in the same way, they won't, they don't respect you, and they don't care for you in that same way. And, so they're going to continue to mistreat you in that way because they don't care for you the same, and you can't make them care for you now like they used to. You just can't. So in order to avoid further hurt and anger and frustration and everything, you just back away. Back away. Okay, I'm clear now. We're no longer best friends because you at this new status. All right, I still love you. I'm gonna back away. You know, maybe if that person falls down from that status, maybe they'll come looking for you again. But then it's on you whether or not you want to receive that person's friendship, because now you've learned something about that person. You learn that this person is not going to be friends with me all the way to the end. This person is going to be friends with me until they move to another status. And if I'm not at that same status with them, they're not going to be my friend. So I'm not going to put too much energy into this friendship. So that's what I would do in a situation like that. I would understand and accept, okay, the nature of our friendship has changed. That person doesn't no longer want to be my friend in the same way. So I'm going to back up. I'm not going to come over there and visit them like that anymore unless they ask me to come. And then even if they ask me to come, I'm going to ask why. But I would accept that. There was a change in the relationship. I would bring it to their attention. I was offended. Or you hurt my feelings when you spoke to me the way you did when I came all the way out there to visit you. I didn't have a good time with you. Why were you speaking? And allow the person to explain so that you can hear it for yourself. You're not just jumping to conclusion. Oh, I was rude to you? You thought that was rude? Well, yes, I felt that, you was being rude to me, and you was quite harsh with me. That's the way I felt. If they want to still be your friend in the same way, then they would try to, apologize or fix it or something. But if they don't want to be your friend in the same way, guess what? You're not going to be friends in the same way. They might say, oh, well, I didn't mean to uh, hurt your feelings, or I didn't mean to come across as rude. It's just that, that's the way I felt, or that's the way I feel now. And then you might want to say, well, maybe um, we're not, we've grown apart. And the person might say, well, yeah, maybe. That way, you're not as close to that person any longer. And so you can figure out your next steps are. And that person can also, knowing that they've established that them and you are no longer close friends like that, they can take their next steps. But yeah, that's what I would do. I would express to them how I felt about the way I was treated, giving them an opportunity to explain, or bringing it to their attention, so if they didn't mean to come across that way, they could, correct it or explain why they were acting that way. Um, and then after they said whatever they had to say, I would make the determination in terms of whether or not I want to continue to be friends in the same way with that person. So that's what I would do. But yeah, those kind of things happen all the time. You might be friends with someone for a very, very long time and discover that what what you were friends with them for was not the same reason that they were friends with you for. For example, I had a friend that uh, she liked being around professionals, you know, uh, doctors, lawyers, uh, teachers, you know, people who work for the government. She liked being around those kind of people, professionals, and she preferred being around professionals, but she had friends also that were not professionals. But she preferred being around her professional friends more so than her non-professional friends. People who worked in other professions. And so um, she became friends with me at the time when I was director at a daycare. She became friends with me, and we would go and out to lunches and different things, that people in certain professions do, and so the minute I stopped working at that particular job, she didn't want to keep in contact with me the same. I had um, stopped working at that job. I went out on maternity leave with my third son, and then decided to stay home and raise my children until they all got school aged. And then I would go back to work. And the moment I had stopped working as a director of the daycare, my friend, she didn't, she didn't feel the need to continue to be friends with me. Um, I would call her up, we used to do lunch and go out to different places together and everything when I was the director of the daycare. But when I was an at-home mom, taking care of um, small children and everything, and I wasn't working, when I would call her up, oh, okay, let's go out and let's do this, she was like, oh, I'm busy. Oh, I'm not interested in doing that. And I could tell by her actions that, you know, she didn't want to be, she didn't want to hang out with me. She didn't want to interact with me. And so I'm like, okay, and so I started calling her less and less, and asking her less and less because I could see that she didn't want to be with me. And we just kind of, you know, stopped talking to each other and everything for a little while. Then, maybe about 5 years later, all of a sudden she gets in she sees another friend, a mutual friend or whatever, and she asks that friend for my number, and she gets back in contact with me. Now she uh, just had a baby. I was on my third child the last time we spoke, and in fact, I had another child, after that. in the interim while we weren't speaking. But she had just had her first child, and all of a sudden, she was no longer working in her profession. She was home on maternity leave, trying to figure out how to parent her firstborn. And when she thought about, you know, who can I, go to for answers, that's when she remembered me. And so she, contacted some mutual friends of ours, and they gave her my number. And then all of a sudden, she's calling me, want to talk. She's calling me, want to be friends, because her status has changed. Okay, she was this professional woman, only wanted to be around her professional friends, career, and all of that. When she um, wound up starting her family and having her first child, all of a sudden, all of that with her profession wasn't as important to her. Okay, whereas before it was, and she only wanted to be around professional people and career women and stuff like that. And being that I was no longer a career woman, I was an at-home mom. She was like, "Oh, I don't need to be friends with you. I need to be, friends with these people over here." And so 5 years had gone by where we didn't talk. All of a sudden, I get a call out the blue, and she calls me up and she's like, "Hey, how you doing? What's new with you?" And I'm looking at the phone like, "Why are you calling me now?" You know, but I didn't say that. I just, heard her out, and, you know, um, I told her what was going on. I had another child, and, I'm still home, and I'm taking care of my children and my family, and, still married and all that kind of stuff. And then when I said, "Well, what's going on with you?" First thing out of her mouth was, "Oh, I just had my first child, and I'm out on maternity leave, but I'm trying to decide whether or not I should go back to work. I think I want to stay home and raise my child." I'm like, "Oh, all of a sudden your status has changed. Now you want to be my friend again. You cut me off, you know, because me and you didn't have what you thought. Me and you didn't have anything in common any longer, so you just cut me off. Now we got something in common again. You think you just gonna pick me up and we're gonna be best friends again all of a sudden, just like that? Well, I have a decision to make." That's what went through my head. And I had to really think about and decide, do I want to be friends with her? Because, you know, soon as her status changes again, she might cut me off again. Do I want to go through that again? Or, you know, or not? And so what I decided to do is, um, we're still friends, but we we call each other maybe once every 3 4 years, um, so that we still have a connection to each other. And you know if she needs me, I'll be there to an extent, but she's no longer one of my close friends. She's no longer someone that I'll call right away. You know, I call her every 3 4 years, just to see how she's doing, and she does the same thing with me. Um, Simply because I feel that she won't be committed to the friendship the way I wanted to be committed to the friendship. So, to save any kind of hurt feelings and all of that, okay, we can be friends in the distance. That's fine with me, you know. And that frees me up so I can spend more time with people that really want to be with me on a regular basis. So, uh, yeah, that's the scenario. also. Any more comments or questions? Thank you for that question, Miss Griffin.
You're welcome, Miss Love. Question.
Okay. All right. No more comments or questions?
No.
Okay, okay. Well, so just to recap, uh, friendships are fluid. They're always changing and growing and diminishing and ending and starting, always in motion. So, with any friendship, you have to give room, space for that to happen, so that your friendship can stay fresh, if that's what you want to do, or if it's if it's time to end the friendship, you can easily end the friendship and do that calmly and peacefully. But understand that friendships are not etched in stone like that. You might be friends with someone for a very long time, but not necessarily forever. So, friendships have seasons, and understand that because friendship has seasons, when the season is over, you have to continue on moving on. Okay, and so understanding that will help you as you evaluate your friendships. Um, and as you evaluate your friendships, just make sure that you're in friendships that work for you and your betterment, so that you can be a good friend to that other person, and that friendship also work for them and their betterment. You don't want to be friends with people that don't try to work with you for your betterment. You don't want to be friend. That's not a friend. That's not a friend. Okay. Um, they don't necessarily have to be enemies, but that's definitely not a friend. Okay. So evaluate your friendships and just see where they are. It's okay to have friends on different levels. Some friends are going to be closer to you than others. And friendship is fluid. So there'll be different points in your life where some friends are close to you in certain moments and far from you in others. And, you know, uh, vice versa, where you'll be closer to certain people in your life at different moments of your life and in their lives, as opposed to being close to other people. So, like when I was, you know, uh, raising my family, my sons and everything, yeah, I had certain friends that I was really, really close to, and we went through child rearing and all that together. Um, Now that my kids are all grown and everything, um, some of those friends, I'm not as close to. We're still friends, but I'm not as close to. Whereas when we were raising our kids together, I was on the phone with them every day. Now it's, every 3 or 4 years, how you doing? It's okay, give me an update, let me update you or what's going on with me, that sort of thing. So, and that's okay. That's actually very healthy, you know. That way you can, make sure that you give and give of yourself and your time to those that you feel comfortable doing just that with on a regular basis. And that helps you maintain good, healthy mental health. Um, and balance. So now, if you are a person that has a hard time making friends, or you don't know how to make friends, um, it's a very easy skill. Um, you might feel that you don't need any friends. There are people that's like that and live their lives that way. But understand, you know, you have to look at how much you uh, want to interact with others, and that will help you decide if you want friends or not, and the nature of the friendships that you have, that you create. So, um, um, yeah. So, but I would encourage you just to look at your friendships, uh, talk to your friends, reach out and give a call or send a text to those friends that are not close to you. Um, the pandemic, even though it has impacted our friendships greatly, it doesn't have to be the reason that we destroy our friendships. Okay, you can have um, friends and make fast friends, even in a pandemic. So it's important that you treasure your friends. Uh, if there are no more questions or comments, um, I will wrap up. Are there any
Yes.
more questions or comments?
No questions or comments, so we can wrap it up.
All right, all right, all right. Well, thank you so much for having me on again and allowing me to share about our friendly relations. Thank you for all of the questions and comments. And you can feel free to contact me even, after the show is over. You can reach out to me again. I am Thais Love. I am a energy health practitioner, mental wellness and health coach, and I work for Dunamis Sound Mind Services, where we help you be a better you. You can reach out to me at dunamissoundmind@gmail.com. You can hit me up on Facebook and Instagram. I'm at Dunamis Sound Mind Services. Like the page, make your comments, uh, reach out to me with your questions, or if you don't have questions or comments, maybe you know someone that may be in need of my services or my help. I'll be gladly um, ready and able to serve them. Again, I am a mental health and wellness coach. Um, you can go on my website, dunamissoundmind.com, and you can see the list of services that I do. That list of services is not uh, restricted to the services that I provide. Um, I do that and then some. But anyway, feel free to give me a call. My telephone number is 718-574, excuse me, 718-576-8110. And I'll be more than happy to talk with you. Tell a friend. I'll be back here again next week, uh, Monday. And next week, Monday, it will be a new month. So it'll be the month of October. Yay! My
Yeah.
birthday is one of my favorite months because it's my birthday month. But so I will see you all again next week, Monday. But um, I'm sure Miss Miss Griffith has some announcements to make. I want to say congratulations and happy birthday to Aunt Cece's Kitchen Videos channel because they are turning 1 years old. And I just want to congratulate and thank Miss Griffith for providing this wonderful platform for over a year now, just so that people like me and you can come on the show, learn, share, and just experience. So uh, they have she has an anniversary coming up. So um, I'll allow her to share with us what's some of the upcoming events with regards to Aunt Cece's Kitchen channel.
Okay,
Miss
first
Griffin.
of all, I thank Miss Thais Love for presenting, and I want to thank all those in the audience, and thanks to
Thank
everyone
you.
who been coming to the virtual interactive lives and listening, commenting, sharing, and everything. And don't forget to like, comment, and share, and subscribe to the channel, and keep coming back for more.
Yes.
And most of all, like the video. Don't just look at the video for 2 minutes. Watch the whole entire video and share it with someone who has the interest. If you don't have the interest, and pass it along. It might help someone along the way. And like Thais said, my anniversary, I will be having an anniversary celebration. I'm prepping the stuff. I already had a pre-channel anniversary announcement. I'm prepping the information and everything together so that when that special day come, I'll be celebrating. If you guys want to be a part of the celebration, you can feel free to email me at ncc@gmail.com, or on my Instagram is Chardonnay, and it's also on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is at CC's Kitchen. That's where you can find me. And my email is at gmail. Instagram is Chardonnay. That's where you can reach me. And if you want to be a part of this panel, or you have someone who want to be a part of this panel, or you are good in an expertise, or anyone that you know that is good in an expertise that want to be on this panel and share any of the expertise that they have, you can email me at that email address or on my Instagram, and I will get in touch back with you. Don't be afraid, don't be shy. I'm willing and ready to work with you. The time, you just got to tell me the time and the day, and I'll be willing and ready to work with you. And I'll also reach out back to you and let you know the time and day that I can get it ready and be available to you. If there's anyone have any favorite recipes, you can also email me at that email address or send it to my Instagram. I'm prepping up something for email for my recipes book, for my recipes book.
Yay, that's right.
I hope you guys send me the information so that I can prep it and get it ready for the book. So if you guys
The
are interested,
holidays are coming up, and so we're gonna need some yum yum eats, good
yeah,
eats. That's right.
we're gonna be celebrating, and I will be giving away some goodies.
Hey.
Come out, enjoy, pass the message along, share, post it, subscribe, and everything to the channel so that when I upload the next video and when the celebration is coming, you will know. Or you can always look on my community tab to see when I drop information. Or you can check my IG Chardonnay for when I drop the information. So without further ado, guys, thank you guys for coming out and for always tuning in and listening to my virtual interactive lives. And most of all, thank Miss Thais Love for presenting each and every Sunday and Monday. She's been of great help to this channel. And I hope you guys
Thank
been
you.
great to my channel too as well. Thanks everyone. Have a blessed day. Enjoy the remainder of your day and have a blessed week ahead. In everything that you do for this week that coming, be safe and stay blessed. Have a great day, everyone. Have a great day,
Take
Miss Thais.
care.
Bye.
You
Take care.
too, Miss Good.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Okay. Sign on. Okay, right